U.S. oil reserves are reaching critical lows. Should the U.S. consider large-scale energy alternatives, such as more nuclear reactor projects? There is a rapidly increasing electrical demand for data centers. Is that rising power demand going to lead to a massive energy gap? Let's get tapped in and break down these stories. Welcome back to the Crude Tube, a pipeline supplying the must-know news and events in the energy sector. Let's get to it and see what's happening. Today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2026, and the price of oil is around $100 a barrel. Now let's start with the oil reserves. The industry plans to end the exploration drought as the oil reserves replacement hits a critical low. Major oil executives announced an end to years of underinvestment, revealing the industry is replacing less than 25% of annual production, a dramatic drop from historical norms as the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran heightened supply concerns. Acknowledging the need to reinvest for the better part of a decade, the oil and gas industry is being pressured by investors and a political and cultural environment that increasingly treated fossil fuels as a dying industry. It is far better that this correction happens now, while the gap can still be addressed through planning and investment, rather than 5 or 10 years from now, when the shortage would have translated into catastrophic price spikes and economic chaos. Energy shocks have historically been the primary trigger for recessions. However, scarcity signals are being received, and capital is beginning to flow towards solutions rather than continuing to ignore the problem. This is not about promoting fossil fuels for their own sake. It is about recognizing that until the world completes an energy transition that is measured in decades rather than years. Reinvestment in exploration may also create economic opportunity. Exploration and production are not abstract corporate activities. They are industries that employ hundreds of thousands of Americans in high-paying jobs, oil fields, drilling rigs, pipeline construction, and the manufacturing of equipment. The warning signs were clear: reserves replacement rates plummeting, spare capacity shrinking, geopolitical tensions rising. Now, finally, the industry is responding. Ending the exploration drought and reinvesting in finding new oil is not about ignoring climate concerns or perpetuating fossil fuel dependence indefinitely. It is about managing reality responsibly. It is about ensuring that the energy Americans depend on today remains available and affordable. Now, what of this massive looming energy gap Chevron is warning about? The energy giant cautioned that the world could face a supply shortage equivalent to 5 Saudi Arabias within the next decade due to rising AI power demand and declining natural production, emphasizing the need for investment across both fossil fuels and new technologies. For years, the energy industry has been operating under a set of contradictory assumptions that demand would continue to grow, particularly with the rise of artificial intelligence and the electrification of everything, but that investment in new supply could be deferred or minimized. This is a recipe for disaster, but it was a disaster that was unfolding slowly enough that most people, including many policymakers and investors, did not feel the urgency to act. Chevron has now put a number on it. What makes Chevron's warning particularly significant is the specific cause they cite: rising AI power demand combined with declining natural production. This reframes the energy crisis from a simple story of running out of oil to a collision between two unstoppable forces. We are already hearing about artificial intelligence as the great economic hope of the future, a driver of productivity and technological advancement. But what is rarely discussed is that the data centers powering AI are energy monsters, consuming electricity at rates comparable to small cities. Chevron is connecting these two threads for the public, revealing that the very technology being hailed as the future of the American economy is simultaneously a primary driver of a looming energy crisis. For too long, the conversation about energy has been framed as a binary choice between fossil fuels and renewables, between the old economy and the new, between those who care about climate and those who care about affordability. Chevron is rejecting that binary. They are saying, with the authority of one of the world's largest energy companies, that the scale of the coming gap is so enormous that it cannot be filled by any single source. The world needs more oil and gas, and it needs more solar and wind, and it needs more nuclear, and it needs more investment in transmission, and it needs more energy efficiency, all at the same time, and at a scale that dwarfs current efforts. Speaking of data centers, the U.S. is considering new large-scale nuclear projects to power data centers. The Edison Electric Institute revealed that the current administration is actively pushing for the development of new large nuclear reactors to meet the surging electricity demands of new data centers, despite industry concerns over past cost overruns. We are witnessing a fundamental collision between two invisible but immensely powerful forces that shape daily life: the exploding demand for digital technology and the physical limits of the electrical grid that powers it. The current administration is actively pushing for the construction of massive, multi-billion-dollar nuclear reactors specifically to power data centers. The apps, streaming services, artificial intelligence tools, and online platforms that Americans have come to depend on are industrial operations that consume staggering amounts of electricity. And now that consumption has grown so large and so urgent that the federal government is turning to one of the most expensive, complex, and politically divisive forms of energy generation to keep it running. This represents a necessary and long overdue recognition that the digital economy is not a virtual abstraction, but a physical reality that requires physical solutions. For years, the growth of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and data-intensive technologies has proceeded with little public discussion about where the electricity to power this revolution would come from. The administration's push for large-scale nuclear projects to power data centers is a sign of responsible planning rather than reactive crisis management. It acknowledges that the American economy is undergoing a fundamental transformation, and that transformation requires a corresponding transformation in how the nation generates and distributes electricity. Data centers are not optional luxuries for the corporations that build them. They are the physical infrastructure of the digital economy. This proactive approach means that the United States can continue to lead in artificial intelligence and other high-tech industries without being constrained by an inadequate or unreliable power grid. The choice of large-scale nuclear reactors, specifically the AP1000 design, signifies a commitment to learning from past mistakes rather than abandoning a critical technology altogether. Yes, the Vogtle project in Georgia experienced massive cost overruns and schedule delays, but the response to those failures should not be to declare nuclear power unworkable. It should be to study what went wrong and apply those lessons to future projects. The industry has had years to analyze the Vogtle experience, to refine construction techniques, to streamline regulatory processes, and to develop standardized approaches that can reduce costs and timelines for subsequent builds. By pushing for new AP1000 projects now, the administration is signaling that the United States will not allow one difficult project to define the entire future of a technology that offers immense benefits. This is the same pattern that has played out in other industries. Early projects are expensive and difficult, but each subsequent project benefits from accumulated experience, leading to lower costs, faster construction, and greater reliability. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate your time. If you found this informative, let me know in the comments or hit the thumbs up. To keep your future self informed, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can stay up to date with me in this industry. As always, I'll keep digging. Until next time, take it easy.